Being thankful. Now, this topic I want to talk about is something that's just been coming up everywhere for me. Like our house meeting's doing a prayer with Thanksgiving for 40 days. I heard it on the talk on Tuesday night. Pastor Paul gave one on touch on appreciation. Gifts keep coming up with it. So I was like, I got to do something. I got to look into this. Well, I pray with Thanksgiving, but I'm really pushing into it just to see what would happen. And yeah, I'm going to present my findings. All right. I've split it up into 3 parts so you can follow easily. So firstly, you're going to be talking about ability to forget. And we're going to talk about what resources we have available, similar to what Dave touched on, and then praying with Thanksgiving. All right. Case study. We're going to be looking at the Egyptians. So I think everyone's familiar with this story. Egyptians, they're going down, they're getting chased. No, Israelites are going down and getting chased by the Egyptians, and they get trapped at the Red Sea. And everything, it's just a big drama. And God tells Moses, put your hands up and I'll part the Red Sea. And they walk through the Red Sea. And you can read there, the waters were a wall either side of it. And every time I read this, I think that is so crazy. It blow my mind. How amazing would this be? It's like a big barrel, serving out a big barrel. It's just crazy. And it'd just be so cool. And then, how would you forget something like this? And we read straight after this happens, the Egyptians got washed away. Everyone's rejoicing. There's that big song that we sing and that they sung. And the whole place just rejoicing and thanking the Lord for what he did. 2 months. Fast forward 2 months. The whole congregation of the children of Israel murmured against Moses and Aaron. So after only 2 months, they're already whinging. They've obviously... So I asked the question, why are they already whinging? They go to this desert place and it's not what they wanted. They said, we're just going to die in the desert. And I was asking the question, why? And I think it's because they've just forgotten. Only 2 months has gone by, but they've forgotten what the Lord just did for them at the Red Sea. And if you've forgotten something, how can you thank the Lord for it? All right. And sometimes similar things can happen in our lives where, I'm going to say a scenario. Take, for example, you're sitting there and you're in the meeting and someone gets up to give a testimony and they just say some awesome miracle, and then you think, oh, that exact same thing's happened to me 10 years ago. And you've totally forgotten about it, something that was lost in our memory archives. And it's this thing that the first step to thankfulness is to not forget what the Lord has done for us. Now, one thing that we have that the Israelites didn't have is technology. Diaries, phones, computers, everything the Lord does for us, we can write down straight away. Every miracle that's in our lives, we can write it down. And when we want to pray with Thanksgiving, it's all there. We can read it. If we have a problem, we can go back and look at something similar the Lord's done for us, and that's faith building. That'll build up our faith. So we've got technology that the Egyptians didn't have. We've got to use it. Let's not lose things in our brain, in our memory archives, because that's when things start to... That's when how can we thank the Lord for things that we've forgotten about? All right, moving on. This is a bit of my study that I did on the internet, just in the world. This isn't biblical related. This is just everything I research is scholarly, so everything's factual, guaranteed. But what we found is that there's a direct link between gratitude and joy. It was the most common thing that popped out on every article. Gratitude and joy were perfectly linked, and the happiest people on the planet are the ones that are practicing gratitude. But the main point is it's not a chicken and egg scenario. Every study they did, gratitude comes first. So you don't get happy and then thank the Lord because he's done something good in your life. You thank the Lord first, and then the good things start to happen in your life. And so applying this to our own spiritual walk, these are some of the things that, as I've been praying with thankfulness, and these are some of the things that I've found have come up in my life. So first point is remembrance. So as I started to pray, I started small, just started thanking the Lord for things that he's just done recently in my life. And as I was doing that, I just started to remember lots of miracles, and then it just kept adding up, all these miracles that the Lord had done for me. So praying with thanksgiving helps us remember what the Lord has done for us. Take, for example, there was a situation 8 years ago where I wanted to go to convention, and my exams fell exactly on the same weekend. was nowhere I could go, but then I found out that you could go on religious grounds if it was compulsory. Now, convention's not compulsory, but I still put in my application, went in to see the chaplain. He was sick that day. The director of the uni came in, didn't care less about religion, signed me off straight away, and I got to go to convention. So the reason I want to bring that up is because when I was praying and I thought about that one, it's not some crazy miracle, some crazy healing. It's something small, but it's something that probably would have been lost in the memory. And we can't lose those things because someone else might need that. It helps build us up when we're in a similar situation. And it also builds up our faith, which is my next point. Builds our faith. If you're dwelling on the things that the Lord's already done for you, you're not thinking about all the things that aren't going to go right in your life. You're thinking about things that the Lord has already done right in your life. So it's faith building. Next one is appreciation. So thankfulness is an action. You're thanking the Lord, but appreciation is a feeling. So as I started praying with thankfulness, I started to realize that I actually truly started to appreciate it, maybe like more than what you first appreciate it. So by doing that action, it actually does give you a feeling inside where you actually just truly start to become grateful. It doesn't have any obstacles because you're not thinking about what's ahead and what might or might not happen. You're thinking about all the things that the Lord's already done for you, and then that helps you see all opportunity, not obstacles. So dwelling on that's better. It started to separate the negative emotions. Like I found one day I got down, I was just not in a good mood, and like there's a few things coming up, and I'm like, oh, you're praying like in a sort of negative state of mind. But when you start to dwell on the things that have happened before, you're not thinking about the bad things that could happen. You're thinking about all the good memories that have happened, all the things the Lord's previously done. And there was an article online that said, dwelling on good memories actually releases dopamine. So dwelling on the good things the Lord has done for us is actually good for our brains. And the last one, it's limitless. As I was praying, the things that you can be thankful for, I'm sure, for all of us is limitless. Like the things that the Lord's already done in our lives, and everything the Lord's done in our lives before we're even born, everything he did with the dying on the cross, like we can just continue to thank the Lord no matter what for as much as we want. So there's no limit to what we can thank the Lord for. Anyway, don't take my word for it. Thessalonians 5, in everything give thanks. But yeah, this is my challenge today. You just got to really try it for yourself and just start to see what the Lord can do for you. And praying with thanksgiving is such a better way than praying for our future, because it's stuff that the Lord's already done for us, and dwelling on that can really build up your faith and it builds up your hope, and it just gives you a real joy. So yeah, I'll just leave it there. Thank you.